campaigning, weeks of pre-poll, hours of policy making, and much, much more than that. So we're here tonight to say that, yes, the Australian people have spoken today. We may not be exactly sure yet what they have said, but they have spoken today in a democratic way. Would you please join me in welcoming a hard-working, dedicated candidate, Fiona Kotvojs.
Result when we haven't got a result yet. Just imagine when we do. We don't have a result. And it would be really nice to say that we did tonight, but we don't. It's been 100 years since the government has won a seat off the opposition in a by-election. The average swing against the government has been 3.8% in those by-elections. So far, we're going the other way. And that's really good. It's fantastic. I chose to run last year because when I left Bega High School, I had to go away to study and I had to go away for work. And I only came home in 2005 when we got satellite internet, and that meant I could come home, back to my parents' farm. My dad's here tonight, which is great, along with my husband. And when I came home, I discovered that things hadn't changed much and most of our young people still had to go away. And when they go away, they find a partner when they're away, just like I did. And on the whole, they don't come home. And that's just crippling our small communities, and it's crippling our towns and our whole region. And I wanted to change that, and I gained the skills to be able to do that. And that's really what I wanted to do. For me, that was important. This year, it's been a tough year. You know, 12 months ago, if you had asked somebody to write down what was going to happen in the next 12 months in Australia, let alone in Eden-Monaro, you would never have written down what's happened. You'd have thought that it was a science fiction if somebody had written it and you told them it was rubbish. We've still got the drought that we had last year. We've had floods, we've had bushfires, and COVID-19. This has been a tough year. So tough. I've spoken to people before the campaign, but I've particularly spoken to people through the campaign. They've shared with me the stories of what's happened and their own experience. There's been the people whose orchard completely destroyed, a lifetime. There's been farmers that I know who've had to shoot their cattle when the fires went through. I can't imagine anything worse. There's been people who still wake up with nightmares because of the fires. And together as a community, we need to work to address those issues. And for me, as somebody who is from the South Coast but who knows the rest of this electorate really well, and through my parents, has spent a lot of time in Queanbeyan and across most of the rest of the electorate. For me, it's really important that we work together as a community and that we deal with these issues, that we have the leadership from the government and we have somebody who works for us to connect the two. That's what matters for me. In the last 2 years, I've met with groups from CWA, men's sheds, a lot of sporting groups, PNCs, the list goes on, a whole range of community groups. And it's been a true pleasure in that time to work with them, to find out what their hopes are, their challenges, their visions for the future for our community. Some of those I've been able to deliver on last year, and that's been great. The commitments that we made last year have all been delivered on, and I'm really proud about that. And put all that together, that's why I'm running this year, or why I ran. And I'm still running. There were 14 candidates on the ticket, 14 people who all wanted to do the best for our community. And can I thank each one of them, because I'm certain that every one of them stood because they wanted to serve our community. Like Mike Kelly before, each one stood to serve. And it's not an easy thing to run. It takes a lot of time, a lot of commitment. You give up a lot. So every one of those 14 has made that commitment and has given up much during that time. And to whoever ends up being the successful member or the successful candidate to become the member, I really would like to offer them my best. We have to wait to find that out. But in the meantime, as counting has finished tonight, I would like to thank everybody who has contributed to getting us to where we have. Every volunteer, members of the FEC, everybody who is not a member of the Liberal Party and is a supporter, who has given hundreds and hundreds of hours over this time. Some people I don't know how you find the time, to be honest. It's a true commitment. There are my very loyal and staunch supporters in Yass who have been climbing fences to put up huge billboards and reclimbing them and reclimbing them. And at the other end of the electorate down in Eden, they're doing the same, and over in Tumbarumba and in Narooma, they're climbing up trees. And here in Queanbeyan, wow, you've even got billboards that have got lights on them at night. There are the people who've made all those phone calls and more phone calls and more phone calls, so that when you actually get a call, there's a real person at the end of it. There are the people who have supported me with meals, supported me by providing beds at various stages. There are those in the official teams, I guess, from FedSec and from the New South Wales Division. I'm not going to list you all, you know who you are, but you know perfectly well I wouldn't be here without you. To each one of you, thank you. I am truly humbled by the amount of hours you put in, by your commitment and your dedication. I had never realised you worked so hard before. I do not want your job ever. There is my family and my friends. My friends who have been busy keeping our house while we've not been there because my husband's been away and I've been away. There are my friends who send me wonderful little messages to say, keep going and to keep up, and messages of encouragement. There are my friends who are praying for me on a daily basis, and it all makes a huge difference. And there is my family, who don't get to see very much of me at the moment, particularly my dad, who kind of thought that he keeps retiring from the farm and then keeps getting the farm dumped back on him, so he's back doing the fencing again, etc. So my dad and my husband is my strongest supporter, I guess. That would be hard because Dad is also my strongest supporter. Very difficult to say. They are both very strong supporters. No family arguments here. But my family has always encouraged me to do and to go for as much as I can. And for every parent who encourages their child, every partner who encourages their spouse or the other half, when you know that if you fail, there is a net to catch you, you can shoot for the stars. And that is the best gift any parent can give to their child and any partner to their partner. We've still got in our community a tough couple of years coming ahead. Recovering from the fires, I know in my community, is going to be tough. It is hard, and unless you've been in it and through it, I don't think anybody knows just how hard it is. It's going to be tough after COVID-19. We've gone well, and we are going well, but it is going to be tough. A government that gives leadership, a government that gives direction, a government that sets a base that supports people is what we need. But the other thing that is essential is a community that loves and cares and respects each other, a community that supports each other, a community that uses that base and makes it grow. Now, if we keep doing that as a society, we are going to come out of all of this stronger than we were when we went in. And that is the Australia I want to be part of. That is the Eden-Monaro. I want to come out of all of this. And that is the Eden-Monaro and the Australia that I will continue to work for, regardless of the outcome of this election.